सबसे पहले आता सो आज अपन कार्डियोवास्कुलर सिस्टम देखेंगे, एनाटॉमी फिजियोलॉजी. ठीक है. पहले इफ यू अंडरस्टैंड दिस कार्डियोवास्कुलर सिस्टम फ्रॉम एचएपी, what is the structure of your heart, okay, how heart will pump the blood in the whole body. Basically, if you understand the structural aspect of your cardiovascular system, if you understand the electrophysiology behind the cardiovascular system, definitely you are going to understand the drug acting on cardiovascular system, right? First, understand this cardiovascular system, because you have different chapters in your pharmacology which are based upon the circulatory system or cardiovascular system. Okay? Now, what are the chapters which are based upon the cardiovascular system? So, very first chapter, anti-arrhythmic drug used in the treatment of cardiac arrhythmia. That is one of the chapter in pharmacology. After that, treatment of hypertension, drug used in the hypertension, that is anti-hypertensive drug. Okay. Second chapter. Third chapter is that drug used in the angina pectoris. Okay. Fourth chapter is that drug treatment of congestive cardiac failure. So if you understand the basic aspects of your anatomy physiology, particularly for the cardiovascular system, definitely you are going to understand that chapter also. So first, that's why we'll see this cardiovascular system, and then immediately we'll start drug acting on cardiovascular system. Okay, and after that we'll see the chemistry of cell. So the physiology is very important. You have to understand the physiology, then only you are going to understand the pharmacology, the classification part of pharmacology as well as mechanism. So first of all, what do you mean by cardiovascular system? So as I told you, different type of cells, right? The basic unit of your body is nothing but the cell. Okay? Now different cells, they will unite together. The cells which are having similar function, they will unite together to form a organ, sorry, to form a tissue. A collection of cell for particular function. ना collection of cell का collection है कोई particular काम करने के लिए, उनको क्या बोलेंगे टिश्यू. And collection of such similar tissue for particular function known as a organ. And collection of different organs to perform a big task, it is known as a system. And these system, there are different system in your body, they work in a synchronous manner to run your body, right? So one of the system is a cardiovascular system. So as it is known as a cardiovascular system. Cardio plus vascular system. Cardio is the term related for the heart. तो इसमें क्या होगा cardiovascular system में? The system is made from a heart and blood vessels. In that we are going to have heart and blood vessels. So heart and vessels. So this system is nothing but the heart and vessels. So what do you mean by your heart? So दिल, heart मतलब दिल, हृदय मराठी में बोलते हैं उसको. So you know that heart is nothing but the very important organ that pumps the blood. We have seen the blood and its component. So that blood is pumped by heart, right? So heart is the element which pumps the blood, right? Now what is the heart? Heart is nothing but the hollow muscular tissue. It is a muscular tissue. As you can see, everything is is a muscle. So it is a muscular tissue. Hollow means empty. Hollow म्हणजे मोकळा. So it is empty inside. It has a empty spaces, right? So hollow muscular tissue which pumps the blood throughout the body. So what are the different components of your heart? You have already seen in the 12th also. You might have seen in the HAP for the semester also, but I would like to explain it. So heart is made up of 4 chambers. You know that heart is made from 4 chambers. What are these 4 chambers? These are the 4 chambers, right? So this area is known as a right atrium. So this chamber known as a right atrium. So atrium is also known as the auricle, right atrium or right auricle. Well, same thing. Then this area is known as a left atrium or left auricle. So the upper part of your heart, they are known as a auricles or atrium, and after that below lower part is known as a ventricles. For example, this is known as a right ventricle. This one is a left ventricle. So basically there are four part of your heart. There are four, okay, chambers in your heart. So heart is nothing but the hollow muscular organ which pumps the blood throughout the body. It has a four chambers. इसमें क्या है कि चार chambers होते हैं. So there are four chambers. There are four. What are these? Two auricles or atrium and two ventricles are there. Okay, so auricle, left auricle, right auricle, then right ventricle, left ventricle, like that. Right atrium or right auricle, right ventricle, left atrium or left and left ventricle. So these are the four chambers of your heart. Right? This the largest artery. This is the largest artery. This is the largest artery known as the aorta. Largest artery in the body known as aorta, and these are the veins. So whatever blood vessels they are indicated by red color, they are known as arteries. ये रेड कलर का जो बड़ा वाला ब्लड वेसल है उसको बोलेंगे अपन आर्टरी. तो ये सबसे बड़ा आर्टरी होता है aorta. इसका नाम है aorta. इज नोन एज aorta. ओके, एंड सबसे बड़ी बड़ी वेन जो होती है उनको बोलते हैं वेना केवा. ओके, तो एक ऊपर से आता है तो इसलिए सुपेरियर वेना केवा, एंड एक नीचे से तो इंफीरियर वेना केवा. Remember, the veins they will have deoxygenated blood. Deoxygenated blood means impure blood. So blue side means impure blood, and red side means pure blood. Red side means oxygenated blood. Impure and pure. Impure मतलब क्या कि deoxygenated मतलब उसमें ऑक्सीजन नहीं है. Pure मतलब क्या, oxygenated. तो जो red color है that is for oxygenated blood. Okay? Basically your left side of your heart consists of a oxygenated blood, and right side of your heart consists of a deoxygenated. जो ये वाला साइड है वो deoxygenated blood होता है इसमें, और ये वाला जो साइड है उसमें whatever blood is there which is carried from tissues. आपके टिश्यूज से जो ब्लड रिटर्न आएगा, ब्लड that is carried in a, okay, veins. So superior vena cava, it will carry a blood, it will collect a blood. बेसिकली इनका काम होता है कि कलेक्शन करना. कहाँ से कलेक्शन करेंगे ये? सो राइट, सुपेरियर वेना कावा, वो सुपेरियर वेना कावा, इट विल कलेक्ट द ब्लड फ्रॉम अपर पार्ट ऑफ योर बॉडी. सुपेरियर वेना कावा जो होता है वो अपर पार्ट जो आपका हेड, नेक, शोल्डर्स, ओके, सो फ्रॉम दैट पार्ट, so this superior vena cava will collect the blood and will drain into the right auricle. Okay, then this inferior vena cava will collect the blood from lower extremities. आपका जो बॉडी का नीचे का पार्ट होता है, जैसे आपके लेग्स हो गए, आपका जीआईटी हो गए, so that blood is collected from different veins and it is drained into inferior vena cava. Inferior vena cava will collect blood from lower part, superior vena cava will collect the blood from upper part. Both these will drain the blood into the right atrium. Okay. Now from right atrium blood will move to the left atrium. Okay, left atrium. Right atrium से blood जाएगा आपका right ventricle में. So right atrium blood will move from right atrium to right ventricle. Now from right ventricle blood will pumped into the these pulmonary veins. There are two pulmonary veins, right pulmonary vein, uh, right pulmonary artery and left pulmonary artery. So blood from right ventricle it is pumped into pulmonary arteries. Okay, so that is only exception. देखो, artery mostly oxygenated blood carry करता है and vein mostly deoxygenated blood carry करता है. But pulmonary artery जो है ना, so it carries the deoxygenated blood ना, and pulmonary vein carries oxygenated blood. ये थोड़ा सा यहाँ पे contradiction होता है, यहाँ पे exception होता है. So blood from body part that is collected and it is sent to a right atrium or auricle. From right auricle it is sent to a right ventricle. From right ventricle blood is pumped into the pulmonary arteries, left and right pulmonary arteries. Okay, so these pulmonary artery they will supply this deoxygenated blood to the lungs. lungs में जाएगा, lungs में क्या होगा, there is a exchange of gas. वहाँ पे blood में ऑक्सीजन है ना, from the lungs blood will be oxygenated. There will be entry of oxygen in the blood in the lungs, okay, and removal of carbon dioxide. That will be carried from lungs via pulmonary veins. So red color veins, right and left pulmonary veins. So oxygenated blood from lungs after exchange of gases in the lungs. So exchange of gases takes place in the lungs. आपको मालूम होना चाहिए, simple thing. So they are carried by right pulmonary vein and left pulmonary vein, and they drain their content into this left atrium. Left atrium. Am I audible to you? ऑडिबल है ना? रिमेंबर, जो सबसे पहले जो भी आपके बॉडी का ब्लड है, जो टिश्यू में से जो ब्लड है, वेनस ब्लड उसको बोलते हैं, वेनस ब्लड दैट इज कैरिड फ्रॉम सुपीरियर वेना cava, इंफीरियर वेना cava इनटू द राइट एट्रियम. राइट एट्रियम से जाएगा ब्लड राइट वेंट्रिकल में, राइट वेंट्रिकल से जाएगा ब्लड आपके पल्मोनरी आर्टरी में. पल्मोनरी आर्टरी दो होता है, लेफ्ट एंड राइट. तो ये लंग्स को ब्लड भेजेंगे. ये कौन सा ब्लड? डीऑक्सीजनेटेड ब्लड. वहां पे डीऑक्सीजनेटेड ब्लड का ऑक्सीजनेशन होगा, मतलब यहाँ पे इनप्योर ब्लड है, तो वहां पे लंग्स में जाके प्यूरिफिकेशन होगा, उसका ऑक्सीजनेशन होगा, एंड वो ब्लड आएगा आपका राइट एट्रियम में. राइट एट्रियम में कौन लाएगा उसको? पल्मोनरी वेन्स. जैसे दो पल्मोनरी वेन, राइट एंड लेफ्ट, क्योंकि लंग्स कितने आपके? दो है. तो राइट एंड लेफ्ट पल्मोनरी वेन्स दे विल कैरी oxygenated blood into the right, okay, they will carry oxygenated blood into left atrium or auricle. Now from left auricle blood will go into the left ventricle. Okay. Now this left ventricle will pump the blood directly into the aorta. Aorta is what? Largest artery. Now from aorta this blood is circulated to all over body, okay, for the nutrition requirement and gas requirement. Okay? So blood क्या है? Blood is a fluid connective tissue that circulates around continuously around in your body, and that establishes the communication between two tissues which are placed at a different. तो सब टिश्यू में ब्लड के जरिए जोड़ा जाता है. तो टिश्यू के लिए एनर्जी लगता है, टिश्यू के लिए न्यूट्रिशन लगता है, वो कौन देगा? वो देगा ब्लड. ब्लड को पंप करने वाला कौन है? हार्ट. Right? It's just overview. Okay, so it is a hollow muscular organ that pumps the blood into the body. Right? Same thing. Okay, blood flow. Okay? So this is known as the superior vena cava, which will collect the blood from upper part of your body. This is known as the inferior vena cava, which will collect impure blood, impure blood from lower part of your body. तो अपर पार्ट से लोअर पार्ट से कौन ब्लड कलेक्ट करता है? अपर पार्ट से करता है सुपीरियर वेना cava, लोअर पार्ट से करता है inferior vena cava. So it will collect the blood that is a deoxygenated blood, and they will drain blood into this chamber, is a right atrium. राइट एट्रियम में जाएगा, वहां से ब्लड जाएगा आपका राइट वेंट्रिकल में, राइट वेंट्रिकल से ब्लड जाएगा आपका पल्मोनरी आर्टरीज में, लेफ्ट एंड राइट. दे विल pulmonary artery will transfer this blood to lungs. In the lungs there is a exchange of gases, and from lung blood is collected via pulmonary veins. Okay, pulmonary veins, and they will carry blood to a left atrium, and from left atrium blood will go to the left ventricle. Left atrium में आता है, blood will go to the left ventricle. From left ventricle blood will be again pumped to whole body through aorta. Okay, that is overview. Now what is the heart? What is cardiovascular system? पहले तो cardiovascular system क्या होता है? So cardiovascular system includes heart. Cardiovascular system includes heart and blood vessels. में दो चीज होता है, heart होता है, blood होता है, blood vessels होता है. So what is heart? So heart is a hollow muscular organ that pumps the blood into the blood vessels. हार्ट का काम क्या है कि हार्ट ब्लड वेसल में ब्लड को पंप करेगा, ब्लड पंप करेगा ब्लड वेसल में, एंड ब्लड वेसल्स. ओके, सो ब्लड वेसल का काम क्या है? दैट सर्कुलेट्स ब्लड इनटू द बॉडी. ब्लड वेसल विल सर्कुलेट द ब्लड इनटू बॉडी. ओके, blood will supply nutrition, oxygen to the tissue. राइट, टिश्यू के लिए ऑक्सीजन लगता है, न्यूट्रिशन लगता है, एनर्जी लगता है, ग्लूकोज लगता है ना, ऑक्सीजन लगता है फॉर मेटाबॉलिज्म. ऑक्सीजन न्यूट्रिशन कौन सप्लाई करता है? ब्लड. इसको टिश्यू को, एंड टिश्यू में जो मेटाबॉलिज्म होने के बाद में जो कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड बनता है, तो आफ्टर मेटाबॉलिज्म so waste product carbon dioxide and lot of waste material that is carried again by blood to, okay, again so blood will supply nutrition and oxygen to the tissues and it will take waste material from the tissue, right? Are you getting? समझ रहे हैं आपको? Okay. So heart is nothing. Okay, what is heart? Muscular organ. Now what is location of heart? It is located in the uh, mediastinum behind the sternum. Now it is made up of 4 chambers. इसमें क्या है? 4 chambers होंगे. So 2 chambers कौन से? 2 chambers are nothing but the atria. Atria, or it is also known as the auricles. 2 atrium or 2 auricles and 2 ventricles. 2 ventricles. Now for your understanding, you can say there are 2 sides of your heart. तो राइट साइड होता है हार्ट का और दूसरा होता है लेफ्ट साइड. राइट साइड में क्या है भाई? सो राइट साइड ऑफ हार्ट, नाउ इट हैज अ 2 चैम्बर्स. राइट साइड में क्या है कि 2 चैम्बर्स है. यहाँ पे देखे आपने, तो देखो यहाँ पे डिवाइड द हार्ट. अच्छा, अगर डिवाइड करेंगे ऐसा तो ये हो गया आपका राइट साइड, ये हो गया आपका लेफ्ट साइड. राइट साइड में क्या है? 2 चैम्बर्स है, एक ये और एक ये. लेफ्ट साइड में भी है 2 चैम्बर्स है. So right side of your heart consists of 2 chambers, right? So okay, right atrium. First chamber is nothing but the right atrium. Right? Right atrium क्या है? So it is a thin wall. उसका जो wall होता है वो thin होता है. It is a thin wall and it has a low pressure. So there is a low pressure in the right atrium or right auricle. Right atrium में कम pressure होता है, low pressure होता है, right? At right atrium में it has a SA node. SA node को बोलते हैं अपन sinoatrial node. So it has a SA node just below the opening of superior vena cava. जहाँ पे superior vena cava open होता है उसके नीचे ही from the posterior side it has a SA node. So what is the SA node? उसका काम क्या है अपन बाद में देखेंगे, ठीक है? So actually it is a pacemaker of your heart. Okay? So right side of your heart consists of 2 chambers. पहला चैम्बर होता है right atrium which is a thin wall and low pressure chamber है, and then दूसरा होता है right ventricle. Right atrium में ही आपका ऐसे नोड होता है, ये याद रखना है. So right atrium is a thin wall low pressure chamber and in the right atrium there is a SA node just below the opening of your superior vena cava, okay, from the back side, that is from the. Then right ventricle. So right ventricle it is a thick wall. यहाँ इसका wall जो होता है thick होता है and it is a high pressure chamber. So ventricles are high pressure chamber, remember. So auricles they are low pressure chambers. Ventricles are high pressure chamber. Right atrium receives the deoxygenated blood. Right atrium will receive a deoxygenated blood or impure blood. इसको अपन impure बोलते हैं. Via superior vena cava, which will collect the blood from upper body part, that is a head, neck and upper limbs, right? And दूसरा होता है inferior vena cava. So right atrium will receive blood from superior vena cava as well as inferior vena cava. Right atrium will receive blood from 2 major veins, that is a superior vena cava and inferior vena cava, right? So superior vena cava will collect the blood from upper body parts like head, neck, upper limbs. Inferior vena cava will collect the blood from lower body parts. Lower body parts. Now between right atrium and right ventricle, जो right atrium होता है, right ventricle होता है, उसके बीच में क्या है? So it has a tricuspid wall. Tricuspid wall. Tricuspid wall. There's a tricuspid wall. Tricuspid. Tri means three. Three. Cusp. There are 3 cusps. Cusp मतलब क्या है? Cusp मतलब ऐसा क्या हे होता है? हाफ कस्प मतलब ये मराठी मध्ये त्याला झडपा म्हणतात. So there are 3 cusps to prevent the backflow of blood from ventricle to the auricle. नॉर्मली क्या होता है कि auricle atrium में ब्लड आएगा, उसके बाद ventricle में जाएगा, ठीक है? So कभी कभी ventricle से भी ब्लड atrium में जा सकता है. So to prevent that there is a valves in the heart. So in between right atrium and right ventricle, tricuspid valve is there. So blood will move from right ventricle. Blood will move from right auricle to the right ventricle, and from right ventricle, blood will move to the blood will move to the lungs via pulmonary artery for oxygenation. Right? Now left side of your heart. Left side में क्या है आपके हार्ट में? Again, left side of your heart has two chambers. So that is known as a atrium and ventricle again. So left atrium or left auricle. So again is a thin walled low pressure chamber. It will receive oxygenated blood via lungs through a pulmonary veins. है ना? देखो राइट साइड ऑफ हार्ट इज नोन एज अ डीऑक्सीजनेटेड ब्लड रहेगा उसमें, तो उसमें सब बॉडी से जो इम्प्योर ब्लड है वो कलेक्ट होगा, पहले तो होगा कलेक्ट ऑरिकल में, एट्रियम में, है ना, वाया सुपीरियर एंड इंफीरियर वेना कवा, और वो से जाएगा ब्लड आपके राइट वेंट्रिकल में, राइट वेंट्रिकल से जाएगा ब्लड आपके लंग्स में वाया पल्मोनरी आर्टरी, यहाँ पे आर्टरी याद रखो, पल्मोनरी आर्टरी, एंड वहाँ पे एक्सचेंज होगा ब्लड का, गैसेस का, वहाँ पे ऑक्सीजनेशन होगा ब्लड का, वो ब्लड आएगा आपका पल्मोनरी वेन्स में, थ्रू पल्मोनरी वेन्स आपके आएगा लेफ्ट एट्रियम में, लेफ्ट एट्रियम से जाएगा लेफ्ट वेंट्रिकल, लेफ्ट वेंट्रिकल से जाएगा आपके पूरे बॉडी में वाया आवर्टा. So left side of your heart has a two chambers, left atrium which is a thin wall, low pressure, receives the oxygenated blood from lungs via pulmonary veins, and also it also left atrium, remember, also produces a hormone that controls the blood pressure, that controls the blood pressure. वो हार्मोन का नाम होता है एट्रियल नेट्रियोटिक पेप्टाइड, ANP, एट्रियल नेट्रियोटिक पेप्टाइड. So remember, right atrium will produce one hormone known as a हार्मोन प्रोड्यूस करेगा, कौन सा हार्मोन, ANP, एट्रियल नेट्रियोटिक पेप्टाइड, बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट हार्मोन है, इज इंपॉर्टेंट हार्मोन. सो एंड आल्सो प्रोड्यूसेस अनदर हार्मोन नोन एज okay atrial natriuretic hormone, ANH. It produces the two hormone, atrial natriuretic peptide, atrial natriuretic peptide, and atrial natriuretic hormone, ANH and ANP. Now these two are very important in the congestive cardiac failure. ये congestive cardiac failure में important होता है. Remember इसके ऊपर क्वेश्चन भी आ चुका है. Atrial natriuretic peptide is a hormone which controls the blood pressure, which is produced in the right atrium. याद रखना, right atrium क्वेश्चन आता है. Blood is also okay. Blood is passed from left, okay, left auricle to the, sorry, left auricle to the left ventricle through a bicuspid wall. Bicuspid wall, also known as a mitral wall. Also known as a mitral wall. Bicuspid wall को mitral wall बोलते हैं. ये आपको मतलब डेट के प्रिपरेशन पे उस टाइम पे समझाया होगा. What is meant by tricuspid wall? What is the synonym? Atrioventricular wall. Mitral wall क्या होता है? इसका नाम synonyms. So sometimes they may ask in the GPAT also. Now left ventricle, it is a thick wall. Left ventricle जो होता है वो thick wall होता है, high pressure होता है. So it pumps the blood into systemic aorta and supplies the blood to the body. Now it also, ventricles also produces one hormone, है ना. तो auricle तो हार्मोन कौन से प्रोड्यूस करता है, ANP and ANH. ANP मतलब क्या, एट्रियल नेट्रियोटिक पेप्टाइड, एंड ANH मतलब क्या, एट्रियल नेट्रियोटिक हार्मोन, एट्रियल नेट्रियोटिक हार्मोन एंड एट्रियल नेट्रियोटिक पेप्टाइड. तो लेफ्ट एट्रियम ये दोनों हार्मोन प्रोड्यूस करता है. उसी तरीके से आपका लेफ्ट वेंट्रिकल भी एक हार्मोन प्रोड्यूस करता है, उसका नाम है, it produces the, okay, you can say it is a type A, well, type A natriuretic peptide, okay, ANP. Now it produces the type B known as a, okay, type B natriuretic peptide known as a BNP. Question आता है आपको, BNP type B natriuretic peptide is produced in a which? So it is produced in the left ventricle. ठीक है, तो याद रखना है, राइट में कोई हार्मोन प्रोड्यूस नहीं होता है, राइट साइड में, वेंट्रिकल्स में भी या फिर ऑरिकल्स में भी, but definitely a left side of your heart will produce hormones. First is the ANP, atrial natriuretic peptide, that is produced by left auricle or left atrium, and ANH. Okay? Then left ventricle will produce a BNP known as a B type of natriuretic peptide. B type of natriuretic peptide. Now, okay, now these right auricle, left auricle, or right atrium, left atrium, or then right ventricle, left ventricle, they are separated by a septum. उनको सेपरेट करने के लिए क्या है, सेप्टम, सेप्टम ऑफ हार्ट. तो लेफ्ट एंड राइट auricles or atria, they are separated by intra-atrial septum. Intra-atrial septum will separate right atrium and left atrium. It is made up of a fibrous tissue, so that's why known as a fibrous septum. And left and right ventricle जो होता है, left ventricle right ventricle, उसके बीच में क्या है? So they are separated by interventricular septum. So are you getting or not? समझ रहा है आपको? Okay? तो ये important है, काफी important है. Now, okay. Now layers of your heart. Heart में कितने layer होते हैं? Layers of your heart. So heart is made up of 3 layers. Okay, pericardium, then okay, then myocardium and endocardium. So your heart has a 3 layers. Your heart has a 3 layers. आपका जो हार्ट होता है उसमें 3 लेयर होता है, याद रखना है आपको. 3 layers very very important. Okay, so outermost layer is then known as a okay, outermost layer is known as a okay, outermost layer is known as a pericardium. Outermost layer is known as a pericardium. This one is a pericardium. So outermost layer जो होता है वो fibrous tissue से बनता है. So outermost layer is made up from a fibrous tissue. Okay, outermost layer is made from a fibrous tissue because it has a important function. It will prevent heart from over distension. It will anchor the heart in a right position. तो आपका जो heart है उसको right position में रखने का काम fibrous tissue करता है. That is a pericardium. है ना? Then उसके बाद में आता है आपका pericardium. उसके बाद में आता है मिडल मस्कुलर लेयर, आउटर इलास्टिक पेरिकार्डियम. आउटर इलास्टिक पेरिकार्डियम मेड अप ऑफ फाइब्रस टिश्यू. देन मिडल मायोकार्डियम व्हिच इज मेड अप ऑफ मस्कुलर टिश्यू. एंड इनर लेयर इज नोन एज एंडोकार्डियम. इनर लेयर इज नोन एज एंडोकार्डियम. एंडोकार्डियम इज वेरी स्मूथ होता है एंडोकार्डियम. याद रखना है आपको, योर हार्ट हैज अ 3 मेम्ब्रेन और 3 लेयर्स. So first layer, outermost layer is known as a fibrous pericardium. It is made from a fibrous tissue. So pericardium, in between pericardium and myocardium there is a pericardial fluid. Okay, so I will explain it. Then muscular layer is known as a known as a myocardium. And inner layer is known as a endocardium. Inner layer is known as a endocardium. Right. So outermost layer of your heart is known as a pericardium. So outer pericardium, middle myocardium and inner endocardium. There are 3 layers on your heart. तो आपके हार्ट के ऊपर 3 लेयर होते हैं. पहला होता है पेरिकार्डियम. पेरिकार्डियम, so it is outermost layer on your heart. So it is also made up of fibrous tissue. तो इसकी में there are also 3 types. Okay? Outer covering of it heart is known as a pericardium. Okay? An infection of this pericardium is known as a pericarditis. इसका इन्फेक्शन हो गया तो उनको बोलेंगे, उसको बोलेंगे पेरिकार्डिटिस. आउटर कवरिंग ऑफ. तो इट इज आल्सो मेड अप ऑफ इट इज मेड ऑफ 2 लेयर्स. तो पेरिकार्डियम में भी 2 लेयर्स होता है. तो आउटर पैराइटल पेरिकार्डियम व्हिच हैज अ स्ट्रांग fibrous tissue and it maintains the heart in a proper position. It maintains the heart in a mediastinum. Pericardium has a 2 layers, outer parietal pericardium and inner visceral pericardium. Inner visceral pericardium. Inner visceral pericardium जो है उसमें भी 2 लेयर होता है. तो fibrous pericardium. Pericardium is made of 2 layers. First is parietal pericardium. Second one is known as a visceral pericardium. Visceral pericardium. And in between these 2 layers, so parietal pericardium and visceral pericardium, in between these 2 layers there exists a pericardial cavity or pericardial space, and in that you have fluid known as pericardial fluid. Outer pericardium has a fibrous layer. Outer pericardium जो होता है, it has a fibrous layer, has a fibrous connective. It is attached. Okay, it is attached and continues to the tunica adventitia of blood vessel. Tunica adventitia. Tunica adventitia क्या होता है? It is the outermost layer of your blood vessel. Outermost layer जो blood vessel का, that is also fibrous. And ये आपका जो heart का outermost layer है, that is also fibrous. ये जो pericardium है, fibrous tissue, that will continue in a blood vessel also. The outermost layer of blood vessel is also fibrous. That is it will continue with the tunica adventitia. Now what is the role of this pericardium? It protects the heart from overstretching. जो यहाँ पे है ना, inner 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 visceral pericardium has a two layer, outer fibrous and inner serous layer. So serous layer is made up of mesothelium and some connective tissue. Okay. It consists of a squamous epithelial cell and it will secrete a serous fluid. क्वांटिटी होता है उसका 25 to 30 ml. 25 to 35 ml. रिमेंबर याद रखना है आपको यहाँ पे. तो serous layer of visceral pericardium. पेरिकार्डियम जो है उसमें भी दो लेयर होता है. एक तो आउटर पैराइटल पेरिकार्डियम एंड इनर विसरल पेरिकार्डियम. ये दो लेयर होता है. तो इनर विसरल पेरिकार्डियम जो है ना उसमें भी दो होता है, दो लेयर्स. इनर विसरल पेरिकार्डियम हैज टू लेयर्स, आउटर फाइब्रस लेयर एंड इनर serous layer. So serous layer consists of a squamous epithelial cells which secrete serous fluid, which is a 25 to 35 ml. AR. Now it is the outermost layer, right? Now middle layer is known as a myocardium. So middle layer of your heart is known as a myocardium. Middle layer जो होता है बीच में का उसको अपन myocardium बोलते हैं. And it is very important. Myocardium is very important because it is the muscular layer of your heart, and this layer because of these muscles present in this myocardium, so heart is able to pump the blood. जो हार्ट है आपका ब्लड पंप करता है, क्यों करता है? द मस्कुलर लेयर, मायोकार्डियल मसल. सो मस्कुलर लेयर मेड फ्रॉम अ कार्डियक मसल फाइबर. इसमें क्या है? कार्डियक मसल फाइबर है. कार्डियक मसल फाइबर दे आर आल्सो नोन एज अ मायोसाइट्स. कार्डियक मसल फाइबर आल्सो नोन एज अ मायोसाइट्स. Now there are three types of muscle in the myocardium. तो मायोकार्डियम आपको मालूम है कि मस्कुलर लेयर, लेकिन इसमें तीन टाइप के मसल्स होते हैं. देयर आर थ्री टाइप्स ऑफ मसल इन द मायोकार्डियम. तो फर्स्ट इज नथिंग बट द मायोकार्डियल फाइबर व्हिच फॉर्म ए कॉन्ट्रैक्टाइल यूनिट ऑफ हार्ट. मतलब ये these are the muscle which are responsible for the contraction. So first muscle fiber which form a contractile unit of heart, ये contraction के लिए responsible होते हैं. So contractile muscle fiber, they are bound by sarcolemma and it consists of a nucleus in the center. इसमें sarcolemma, nucleus in the center रहेगा. Myofibrils are present in the sarcoplasm. sarcoplasm जो होता है उसमें myofibril रहेगा. myofibril मतलब वही contractile protein रहते हैं. Okay? So sarcomers containing contractile protein like actin, myosin, troponin, tropomyosin, these are the contractile protein. मतलब ये actually contract होते हैं. Okay? So remember, myocardium has a three different layer or three different types of cells in the myocardium. First known as a muscle fiber which form a contractile unit of the heart. Okay? Second होता है muscle fiber which form a pacemaker. Third होता है muscle fiber which form a conductive system of your heart. So myocardium has a three kind of muscles. Myocardium में three types of muscle है. So depending on their work, so some muscles they contracts, they have contractile function. So contractile muscle fiber, they are bound by sarcolemma. उसमें न्यूक्लियस रहेगा एट सेंटर. मायोफाइब्रिल प्रेजेंट इन द सार्कोप्लाज्म. sarcomers consist of a contractile protein, actin, myosin, troponin, tropomyosin. So intercalated disc उसमें और एक रहता है intercalated disc. You can see over here. So it is a myocyte, it is the structure of myocyte. तो जो मायोकार्डियम में जो सेल्स होंगे मायोफाइब्रिल होंगे, so it is the structure of myocytes. So इसमें सेल रहेगा. Now these patches they are known as intercalated disc. Now how they are formed? They are formed because of the crossover of membrane of हार्ट सेल. तो हार्ट सेल जो है मायोसाइट उसका मेम्ब्रेन एक के ऊपर यहाँ पे क्रॉस होता है. दैट्स व्हाई इट इज अ डार्क कलर. सो इट इज नोन एज इंटरकैलेटेड डिस्क. इट इज नॉट अ मेम्ब्रेन नहीं है. सो एंड बिकॉज ऑफ दिस there is an easy movement of ions across from one cell to another cell. इलेक्ट्रिकल इम्पल्स भी इजीली जाता है. intercalated disc. So they are the tough membrane structure between the branches of neighboring cardiac cell. They are formed by fusion of membrane of cardiac muscle branches. Second layer होता है muscular fiber which forms a pacemaker. Now they are made from a specialized cells or structure which generate a impulse. वो impulse generate करने के लिए काम आता है for heartbeat. So it is known as a, these are the particular type of muscle fiber. They are found in the pacemaker. They are made from a P cell or pacemaker cell. For example, आपको pacemaker इसको बोलते हैं अपन SA node. SA node is nothing but the pacemaker of your heart. First contractile fiber, second muscle fiber which form a pacemaker. Third आता है muscle fiber which form a conductive system. So they are again a modified cardiac muscle fiber. वो modified होते हैं to transmit a impulse from SA node. SA node से impulse transmit करने के लिए ये बने to transmit the impulse from SA node. So myocardium मतलब सिर्फ muscular layer नहीं है. Myocardium has a 3 types of different muscle fiber. So those are which are contractile, उनका काम है contraction करना. Those fibers which are having function of generation of impulse. Impulse generate करने के लिए pacemaker होता है आपको, right? उसकी cells होंगे. And third होता है conductive system, means those muscle fiber which are used to transmit a impulse from SA node. SA node का काम है impulse generate करना. Conduction system का काम है impulse transmit करना. And finally जो myocardial contractile fiber है, they will contract the myocardium. Okay? Are you getting or not? समझ रहा है क्या? Okay. Myocardium has a 3 types of muscle. Now endocardium, so it is a inner layer. It is a smooth and they are formed by single layer of endothelial cell. Endothelial cells. Okay. It is a very smooth. Okay. And it continues with the endothelium of blood vessels. Okay. जैसे आपका ये था आपका pericardium, fibrous layer of pericardium will also continue with the blood vessel. Outermost layer of blood vessel that is known as tunica eventatitia. That is a fibrous layer. Okay? Middle muscular layer होता है उसमें blood vessel में भी. And innermost layer होता है जिसको अपन endothelium बोलते हैं. So endocardium of your heart, okay, it has a smooth and they are formed by endothelial cell and they will also continue the blood vessel. So endothelium of blood vessel and endocardium of your heart, they are having same structure. Okay? आपको जो हार्ट होता है उसमें 2-3 टाइप का एक्शन होता है. There are 2-3 type of action. Okay? So actions of heart, chronotropic action. You have to understand these terminologies because if you want to understand the antiarrhythmic drugs, so you may find these terms in the arrhythmia. You may find these terms in the hypertension. You may find these terms in the congestive cardiac failure. So you have to understand these terms. That's why. पहला है chronotropic action. So actions of heart. So chronotropic action. So remember, chronotropic action is related with the heartbeats. Okay? So anything that will increase the heartbeat or something will decrease the heartbeat. So जैसे suppose आपके पास 2 ड्रग है. एक ड्रग क्या करता है, हार्टबीट को इंक्रीज करता है, एक ड्रग हार्टबीट को कम करता है. सो chronotropic effect is related with the heartbeat. Now what is meant by positive chronotropic drug? So positive chronotropic drug means it will increase the heart rate. Positive chronotropic drug will increase the heart rate, negative chronotropic drug will decrease the heart rate. Okay? So that is a chronotropic action of drug. Chronotropic action on a heart. मतलब क्या, सिंपली एक ड्रग क्या करेगा, टैकीकार्डिया करेगा, एक ड्रग क्या करेगा, ब्रैडीकार्डिया करेगा. मतलब पॉजिटिव chronotropic drug will cause tachycardia. Positive chronotropic drug will cause tachycardia. Negative chronotropic drug will cause bradycardia. Negative chronotropic drug will cause bradycardia. Are you getting or not? Chronotropic effect. Chronotropic action. Chronotropic action means it is related with the heartbeats. So those which will increase the heart rate known as a positive chronotropic agent. Those which will decrease the heartbeat known as a negative chronotropic agent. Second action होता है inotropic action. Inotropic और inotropic action. Okay? Inotropic और inotropic. So it is related with the force of contraction. Force of contraction. Okay. So any drug which increases the force of contraction in the heart, known as a positive inotropic, or any drug which will decrease the heart rate, contraction of heart, known as a negative inotropic. So positive inotropic drug will increase the force of contraction, and negative inotropic drug will decrease the force of contraction. Remember, chronotropic means heart rate. Positive chronotropic will increase the heart rate. Negative chronotropic will decrease that. Inotropic means related to the contraction, force of contraction, myocardial muscle. Myocardial muscle the force of contraction. So positive inotropic drug will increase the force of contraction. And negative inotropic drug will decrease the force of contraction. Now next is nothing but the dromotropic effect. Next one is the dromotropic. Dromo होता है DRO. Dromotropic. Next one is a dromotropic. DROMO tropic. Dromotropic effect. So dromotropic effect is related with the conduction of impulse in the heart. So dromotropic जैसे ये होगा ना chronotropic, inotropic, यहाँ पे dromotropic. Dromotropic effect. Dromotropic means it is action on a conduction of impulse in the heart. So those drugs which increase the conduction of impulse in the heart, known as a positive dromotropic, they will increase the conduction velocity. Any drug which increases the conduction velocity of impulse in the myocardium, known as a positive dromotropic, and those drugs which will decrease the conduction velocity in the heart, they are known as a negative dromotropic. Fourth is nothing but the bathmotropic effect. Bathmotropic. It is related with the excitability of cardiac muscle. जो ड्रग कार्डियक मसल का एक्साइटेबिलिटी बढ़ाता है उसको बोलेंगे अपन पॉजिटिव बाथमोट्रोपिक ड्रग, और those drug which decreases the excitability of cardiac muscle known as a negative bathmotropic drug. Now last action होता है lucitropic action. ये आपको किसी ने बोला भी नहीं होगा, पढ़ाया आपको किसी ने ये और नो मालूम होना चाहिए उसके लिए. So chronotropic action means related to heart rate. Inotropic action related to force of contraction. Dromotropic, यहाँ पे ड्रोमो है. Dromotropic action related with the conduction of impulse or conduction of velocity of conduction. Okay? And bathmotropic effect related with the excitability of cardiac muscle. And lucitropic effect means it is related with the relaxation function of your heart. So those drug which relaxes the heart more, known as a positive lucitropic drug. Those drug, okay, है ना, वैसे ही सेम. So positive negative है ना, positive inotropic, positive chronotropic, positive dromotropic, positive bathmotropic, positive lucitropic. Okay. So negative chronotropic, negative inotropic, negative dromotropic, negative bathmotropic, negative lucitropic. Now there are different kind of circulation also. So first circulation of blood from heart to the body, known as a systemic circulation, and it is known as a major circulation. Major circulation का काम क्या है? For exchange of gas into lungs. Right? Systemic circulation means what? Systemic circulation means it is known as a major circulation, and for exchange of gases and waste material from blood to the tissue, it is known as systemic circulation. Pulmonary circulation is nothing but the known as a minor circulation or lesser circulation. So exchange of gases between blood and air takes place in the lungs. That is known as pulmonary circulation. तीसरा होता है आपका पोर्टल circulation of venous blood from intestine to the liver via portal vein, known as a portal circulation. और भी आता है उसमें जैसे fetal circulation of blood from mothers to the fetus, known as fetal circulation. You know that left side of your heart consists of oxygenated blood, right side consists of deoxygenated blood. लेफ्ट साइड में ऑक्सीजनेटेड ब्लड होता है, प्योर ब्लड होता है लेफ्ट साइड, ओके. राइट साइड में डीऑक्सीजनेटेड ब्लड होता है, इम्प्योर ब्लड होता है. लेफ्ट साइड में ऑक्सीजनेटेड ब्लड होता है, प्योर ब्लड होता है. नाउ वी हैव सीन द सेकंड इज नथिंग बट द ब्लड वेसल्स दे कैरी द ब्लड फ्रॉम हार्ट टू द वेरियस ऑर्गन्स. हार्ट से ब्लड कैरी करने का काम किसका है? ब्लड वेसल का है. So you can say blood flows through these vessels. Blood flows through these vessels. So blood vessels, they are of two types. One is known as a vein. So mostly they carries the deoxygenated blood. Veins will carry deoxygenated blood, मतलब impure blood, impure blood. Okay. Now artery will carry oxygenated blood और pure blood. Arteries में कौन सा blood पाया जाता है? Pure blood. Veins में impure. Okay. Now all artery and veins, they are made up from a different layer of tissue. So outermost layer, inner layer, and okay, outer layer is known as a this tunica externa. Tunica externa or tunica adventitia. Tunica externa. Then middle muscular layer is known as tunica media, and innermost layer is known as tunica intima. तो तीन लेयर होता है आर्टरी वेन्स में, सभी में क्या है? तीन लेयर होता है. So it is made up of three layers. Outermost layer is known as tunica externa. It is made up of fibrous tissue, collagen fibers. Middle layer is known as a middle muscular layer. So tunica media, made up of smooth muscles and elastic fiber. Tunica intima, inner layer, made up of endothelium or subendothelial layer. Okay. So veins carry deoxygenated blood or impure blood. Arteries will carry oxygenated blood or pure blood. Arteries will carry blood from heart to the organs. So artery will carry blood away from the heart, and veins will carry blood towards the heart. So arteries are deeply seated, veins are superficially seated. आपने बार टू एक में पढ़ा होगा. Now artery, largest artery is known as aorta. After that, arteries are there. After that, diameter of arteries will decrease, known as arterioles. And after that, also further decrease in diameter, known as capillaries. तो इसको बोलेंगे अपन लार्जेस्ट आर्टरी या फिर aorta. उसके बाद में arterioles, मतलब ये आर्टरी है, उसके जो ब्रांचेस होंगे, branches, they are known as arterioles. And then they will form capillaries. Now, capillaries of artery will unite with the capillaries of veins. Capillary जो artery का होता है और veins का capillary unite होगा. क्यों? Because what is the function of artery? To supply blood to tissues. Okay. And what is the function of vein? To take a blood from tissue towards the heart. ये हार्ट से टिश्यू को सप्लाई करेगा ब्लड, और ये क्या करेगा? टिश्यू से आपके हार्ट में आएगा. तो इन दोनों में कुछ ना कुछ कनेक्शन होना चाहिए ना. कनेक्शन कहाँ पे? कनेक्शन इज एट द कैपिलरी लेवल, कैपिलरी नेटवर्क. तो आर्टरीज, capillaries are united with the vein capillaries. Now we'll see the difference between artery and veins. So most of the things I have told you. Okay, एक दो point है और. What is meant by blood vessel? Blood vessels, there are two types of blood vessels, arteries and veins. Okay, so aorta, remember aorta is the largest artery which is of 25 mm diameter. aorta से बाद में arteries बनेंगे, smaller artery. Okay, after that again there is decrease in diameter. Arterioles will be there, 10 micron. After that capillaries, these capillaries will unite with the capillaries of veins. Okay, that's why capillaries एक ये लिखा है यहाँ पे, arteries plus veins. And then venules, and then veins, and then largest vein known as the vena cava. Okay. So anastomosis is the connection or joining of two blood vessels. और दो blood vessels join हो रहे हैं तो उसको बोलेंगे anastomosis. यहाँ पे क्या है? blood vessels they decreases in the diameter. जैसे if blood vessel artery is near to the heart, so it has a larger diameter. Okay, and the diameter of that artery will decrease as it passes away from the heart. हार्ट के नियर जो आर्टरी है आपका aorta, that has a larger diameter 25 mm. उसके बाद में आर्टरीज का डायमीटर कम होगा. उसके बाद में आर्टरीज का फर्दर ब्रांचेज जो होता है आर्टरीओल्स, उसका डायमीटर और कम होगा 10 माइक्रोन. उसके बाद में लास्ट में कैपिलरीज, उसका 3 माइक्रोन होगा कैपिलरीज. देन कैपिलरीज ऑफ वेन्स आल्सो देयर. देन उसके बाद वेन्यूल्स का डायमीटर बढ़ेगा. उसके बाद वेन्स का डायमीटर वेन्यूल से ज़्यादा होगा, और वेना कावा का डायमीटर वेन से ज़्यादा. लार्जेस्ट वेन इज नथिंग बट द वेना कावा, that is superior or inferior vena. Now there are two systems, arterial system and venous system. आर्टेरियल सिस्टम क्या होता है? aorta is the largest artery. Arteries, wall of arteries will have three layers ना, इनका भी आर्टरी का वॉल, वेन्स का वॉल सेम. There are three layers. Okay? Outer tunica, outermost layer is tunica adventitia. Adventitia. Or tunica externus. Made from a connective tissue and fibrous connective tissue. And it is a continuous with the fibrous layer of your pericardium. So outermost layer of artery is made from fibrous tissue. Middle layer known as a tunica media, which is made from a smooth muscle. इसमें smooth muscle रहेंगे. So this smooth muscle helps the artery to contract or to relax. Okay? Then okay. Then inner layer is known as a tunica intima or endothelium. It is made from a endothelium cells. Okay, and it is continuous to a endocardium. Endocardium continuous. In the arteries, there is one hormone is produced known as a nitric oxide. This is very important. पूरा आपका अंजाना चैप्टर इसके ऊपर है. So arteries, they will produce a one chemical known as a nitric oxide, it is known as a transmitter, local transmitter. Okay? It is a vasodilator in nature. ये क्या है? Vasodilator, मतलब blood vessel को dilate करता है. It is a vasodilator. So this endothelium derived relaxing factor. That is a nitric oxide. It is known as EDRF. E for endothelium, D for derived relaxing factor. कहाँ पे पड़ता है ये? एंडोथेलियम में तैयार होता है. एंडोथेलियम derived relaxing factor. So it is a natural vasodilator present in your body. That is known as a nitric oxide, or it is known as a EDRF. So it is produced in the endothelial layer of your artery. Artery में ये endothelium में produce किया. Now size of artery will decrease. जैसे aorta का size बड़ा होगा, after that arteries, after that arterioles, and then capillaries. Now resistance to the blood flow in the arterioles. और जो blood flow होता है arterioles में, there is a resistance to the blood flow in the arterioles. This is known as a peripheral resistance. Again, very it is known as a peripheral resistance. So resistance to the flow of blood offered by small arteries, that is arterioles. Small artery क्या होता है? Arterioles. वो जो blood flow को resist करता है, that is known as a peripheral resistance. And these vessels, they are known as a resistant vessel. जो arterioles होता है उसको resistant vessel बोलते हैं. Are you getting or not? समझ रहे हैं आपको? ये बहुत ही important point है. Okay, important है. So the resistance to the blood flow by arterioles known as a peripheral resistance. Important term है आपके blood pressure के लिए. So if there is an increase in the peripheral resistance, अगर ये बढ़ गया ना तो blood pressure बढ़ता है. Right? Peripheral resistance अगर बढ़ गया तो peripheral resistance बढ़ गया तो blood pressure बढ़ता है. So resistance to the blood flow by arterioles known as a peripheral resistance, and therefore these vessels or arterioles, they are known as a resistant vessel. तो ये आपको किसी ने बोला नहीं होगा. Arterioles are known as a resistance. Important. Now arterioles will continue to form a capillaries, that is a 4 to 8 micron, which are important for exchange of nutrition and waste material to the tissue. Artery सबसे बड़ा वाला artery होता है aorta, उसके बाद artery, उसके बाद arterioles, उसके बाद capillaries. Finally, capillaries will supply a blood, nutrition and oxygen to the tissue. Okay? And resistance offered by small arteries, that is arterioles, known as a peripheral resistance. Okay, known as a peripheral resistance. That's why arterioles, they are known as a resistant blood vessel. इसके opposite आपका veins में होता है. हम देखेंगे. Now venous system. So again, vein are also made up of 3 layers. जो artery के layer है वैसे ही layer है. बस difference होता है, वो difference अपन बाद में देखेंगे. So from the capillaries of your arteries, capillaries of veins will be there, and after that venous system start. Okay? Now after vein capillaries there is a venules, and after that there is a veins, which is a 5 mm, and then vena cava 30 mm. Venules, they will have a size of 20 micron. 20 micron. Large quantity of blood, it is present in the veins. Veins का काम क्या है कि blood को recover करके heart में लाना. So large quantity of blood is present in the venules, and that's why they are known as a capacitance. They are known as a capacitance वेसल, ये भी आपको किसी ने नहीं मालूम है आपको व्हाट इज मीन बाय रेजिस्टेंट वेसल, व्हाट इज मीन बाय कैपेसिटेंस बोला है पहले. सो रिमेंबर, veins are known as a capacitance vessel because large amount of blood is held in the venules, and they are known as a capacitance vessel. Again ये term आपको कब काम आएगा? So it is very important term for congestive cardiac failure. तो आप बाद में बोलते हो सर ये समझा ही नहीं मुझे, क्योंकि फिजियोलॉजी क्लियर नहीं है आपका. So resistance vessel means arteries and capacitance vessel means veins. Okay? Now difference between arteries and veins. So artery will carry oxygenated blood. Artery में क्या होता है? Oxygenated blood. Except pulmonary artery. Pulmonary artery में क्या है? Deoxygenated blood. And arteries carry blood away from the heart, usually at a high pressure. इसमें pressure भी ज़्यादा होता है, and that's why blood pressure उसमें measurable. So arteries carries oxygenated blood away from the heart and are at a high pressure. Exception क्या है? Pulmonary artery. Pulmonary artery क्या करता है? Venous blood carry करता है. Now veins क्या करता है? Veins carry deoxygenated blood. Vein mostly impure blood carry करता है, but except again pulmonary vein, it carries the oxygenated blood. Now veins carry blood towards the heart and at a low pressure. Low pressure है. Now arteries are thick wall. इसका जो wall होता है वो बड़ा होता है. Thick wall and they are deeply seated. कि स्किन के बहुत नीचे होता है. Thick wall deeply seated. Now veins are thin wall. उनका wall कम होता है, muscular layer नहीं कम होता है. And they are subcutaneously seated. ये ऊपर से भी दिख जाते हैं. Walls are absent in the arteries. में valves नहीं होते, है ना. Walls they are present in the veins. ये आपका नीट की क्वेश्चन है. So which of the following blood vessel will have a valve? नीट में पूछा था. नीट का valves किस में होते हैं? veins में. What is the role of valves in the veins? To prevent the backflow of blood, to collect the more and more blood. That is a role. Now in the arteries, pulse flow is there. In the veins, smooth flow is there. पल्स फ्लो क्या होता है? स्मूथ फ्लो क्या होता है? आर्टरीज में होता है आपका पल्स फ्लो एंड वेन्स में होता है स्मूथ फ्लो. देखो अगर आपकी आर्टरी कट गई ना तो आपका ब्लीडिंग कैसे होगा? कंटिन्यूस नहीं होगा, कंटिन्यूस ब्लीडिंग नहीं होगा. तो मतलब पल्स में होगा, मतलब एक बार में ब्लड ब्लड बाहर आएगा, फिर से कुछ सेकंड के लिए स्टॉप, फिर से एक बार ब्लड बाहर आएगा, कुछ सेकंड के लिए स्टॉप, फिर से आएगा. तो दैट इज नॉट पल्स फ्लो. बिकॉज क्या है कि जैसे आपका हार्ट बीट होगा वैसे ब्लड बाहर आएगा आर्टरी से. जैसे मतलब सिस्टोल होगा हार्ट का तो ब्लड बाहर आएगा, जैसे डायस्टोल होगा कम हो जाएगा, फिर सिस्टोल होगा फिर से ज़्यादा आएगा. तो दैट इज अ पल्स टाइप फ्लो. बट इन द वेन्स स्मूथ फ्लो से. अगर वेन को कट हो गया ना ब्लीडिंग कंटिन्यूस होगा. ब्लीडिंग क्या होगा? कंटिन्यूस होगा. राइट. नाउ आर यू गेटिंग और नॉट? So blood vessel diameter, okay. So you know that middle layer of your arteries, they are nothing but the muscular layer. उसमें muscle होगा, right? So blood vessel diameter, diameter of blood vessel is controlled by vasomotor center. Okay, vasomotor center brain में होता है, medulla oblongata में. So in the brain medulla oblongata part of brain, you will have vasomotor center, which will control the blood vessel diameter. Means caliber of blood vessel. Say blood vessel है और दूसरा एक blood vessel. इसका diameter बड़ा है, इसका diameter कम है. Means here is a constriction of smooth muscle over here in the blood vessel. Here is a dilation of smooth muscle. So this, okay, this is controlled by vasomotor center present in the medulla oblongata. The nerves which are arising from this vasomotor center, they are innervated with the autonomic nervous system. Basically autonomic nervous system will control the diameter of blood vessel, है ना. तो it is very important. ये सब blood pressure में आपको आएगा. Release of metabolic waste like carbon dioxide, lactic acid, they increases the they increases the blood supply to the particular tissue. Then again hypoxia stimulate the vasodilation. हाइपोक्सिया अगर हुआ है तो ब्लड वेसल डायलेट होगा. इंक्रीज इन द ब्लड फ्लो इन द अफेक्टेड टिश्यू, टेम्परेचर राइज आल्सो रिजल्ट इन द वैसोडाइलेशन. तो हाइपोक्सिया अगर हो गया तो ब्लड वेसल का डायलेशन होगा. अगर टेम्परेचर बढ़ गया है तो ब्लड वेसल का डायलेशन होगा. दैट्स वाई देखो, जब भी आपको फीवर होता है ना तो आपका सर दर्द होता है. क्यों? व्हेनेवर यू विल गेट अ फीवर, आपका बॉडी टेम्परेचर बढ़ गया तो आप में हेडेक हो जाता है. क्यों होता है हेडेक? बिकॉज इंक्रीज द बॉडी टेम्परेचर विल कॉज सेरेब्रल वैसोडाइलेशन. सेरेब्रम में वेसल का ब्लड वेसल का डायलेशन होगा, वहाँ से परमेबिलिटी बढ़ेगा उनका, वहाँ से फिर प्रोस्टाग्लैंडिन वगैरह का सिंथेसिस होगा. दैट्स व्हाई blood supply to the skeletal muscle will increase as much as 24 times during the heavy exercise. अगर आप बहुत ज़्यादा हेवी काम कर रहे हो तो स्केलेटल ब्लड वेसल में जो ब्लड होता है वो 24 टाइम्स ज़्यादा सप्लाई होगा. एक्सचेंज ऑफ गैसेस इन द टिश्यू टेक्स प्लेस बाय डिफ्यूजन. तो आप बोलेंगे सर टिश्यू को ऑक्सीजन कैसे मिलता है? तो टिश्यू विल गेट अ ब्लड थ्रू कैपिलरीज, and from capillaries oxygen will diffuse into a cell and carbon dioxide will also diffuse into a blood. So exchange of gases, there is a diffusion.